All right. Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Mr. Brandon Halliburton coming to you live with Facebook here. And I hope you're having a great Sunday. I know I am. It's a great and beautiful day here in beautiful Columbus, Ohio. And so if you are there, give me some thumbs up to let me know that you're there. Let me know where you're from. As I said, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I love it here. This is where I was born and raised. So today, I thought we would do a Facebook Live today on a few common mistakes that people make when they're building their first website. And so, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brandon Halliburton. I am the creative director for Graphic Blueprint LLC. And this is my design and marketing agency that I've owned since 2012, and we do everything from graphic design to online marketing. And I've been in this space for a few years now, and I actually do enjoy it very much. And so a little bit of what I'm going to talk about today are things that I have made, mistakes I've personally made, and even things that I've noticed that people have made over the years. And so throughout the years, websites have been around for over a decade plus, and everybody knows who is in business at some point should realize that you need a website. A website is a very important thing to have. It's what you will have that will essentially be the headquarters for your online activity. It's on 24/7, 365. It's a great tool to have to generate leads. Online, it's also something you can use in your offline endeavors. And so there are a few things that mistakes that people have made, and even that I've made, and even throughout this conversation that we're having here, if you could think of any mistakes that you've made, or if anything resonates with you, please leave a comment below. I'll be sure to get to any of your comments as soon as I can. And so, but we're going to get right into it here. And so, with the mistakes, one of the first mistakes that people make when they're building an online presence is that, number one, they don't have a plan. There's no plan in place in terms of what you plan to use your website for. It's easy to be filled with tons of emotion and enthusiasm with having a website. We always have, when we have that initial idea for something, we always get real excited about it. Like, oh, I can't wait to do this. And, all these thoughts and these ideas start coming to your head. But the main thing is not having a goal or a plan. When I built my very first website was BrandonHalliburton.com. And I still own it to this day. It was just my personal website that I was using for my portfolio and, a little bit about myself. It didn't have too much to it, but I knew I needed a website, so I went ahead and created my first website there. I put on a little about me, a portfolio. I think I had some integration with like Instagram or something. But after it was done, there was really nothing to do. Like it was just sitting there. I may have some people visit it from time to time, but it really just sat there because I didn't really have a strategy on how to get people there. So the first thing is, you have to ask yourself a series of questions. Number one, why do you want a website? What is the whole purpose of it? We all know that we need websites, but what's the purpose of having one? Another question is, how will you get people there? Because technology is so readily available for everybody, having a website is super simple and it integrates easily with social media. So what is it? How are you going to get people there? What are you going to do it? What's the purpose of it? What kind of functions or features will your website have? Everybody's website is different. Not everybody has the same type of not everybody will need the same features is what I'm trying to say. So for example, for me, my website, if you go to graphicblueprint.com, it's very straightforward. So for me, my website has to have things such as a portfolio. It has to list out the services and the things that I do and offer. It has to have a little bit about me, has to have a clear message, and that one of the things we're going to talk about here shortly. And also a blog, that these are things that resonate with me. But for you, you have to think about what kind of functionality do you want your website to have? What kind of things do you want to get out of your website? Because not only the features and functions that you need will also go into how much your website will cost. And a lot of people need to understand that, because your website may need like a slider. You might want some type of integration with social media where people can follow your Instagram posts from your website, or follow you from Facebook from your website. So you need to really ask yourself these type of questions, because going forward, you're not going to have any delays in getting people there. And so that's the first mistake that I've noticed and I've made personally. Second one is not having a clear message on your website as far as what you do. Now, this is very important, because when people come to your website, they should instantly know that this website is for baking cookies. There should be a clear message as far as who you are, what you do, and the type of results that you can get for your potential audience. And it has to be very clear, because the attention span of people has dropped lower. Get this, it has dropped lower than a goldfish, which I believe is 6 seconds. So you're telling me the attention span of human beings has dropped lower than a goldfish. So that's 5 seconds, I believe. So when people come to your website, they should be able to grasp instantly what you do. And so if you visit my website, you'll see a blurb right there on the website. Another website that I've designed recently, if you go to LastTrumpLLC.com, that's another website that I've designed where Mr. Gabriel Day has a big message as soon as you go there that I put there for him, because I felt like that was what his brand is about. And so even for your website, you just need to have a clear message: who you are, what you do, the type of results that you want to generate for your potential audience. And so that's very important. Number 3 is choosing the wrong domain extension. Now, when I mean a domain extension, when you type in your website, it should say, yourcompany.com. .com is that extension at the end of it. What people fail to do is they choose the wrong one. So, for example, if you're a nonprofit or a religious institution or a church, you should not be using a .com or .net. You should be using a .org, because that .org is specifically for your organization. That's what it's designed for. Now, .com is a general one that business owners use, authors, whatever. The same goes for .net. But .org is specifically for nonprofits and churches and such like that. So you need to make sure that you're choosing the right domain extension, because you don't want to confuse people. And on top of that, you want to make it as easy as possible for somebody to find you. So the common thought is that most people would type in, for example, if you are a nonprofit, most people will go to .com. Now, what I suggest is if you are a nonprofit organization, or if you're an organization that needs a specific URL, a specific domain extension, you should buy multiple of the other ones, that is. So in addition to .org, consider buying .com, .net, and just redirect those to the .org website. So that way there's no confusion, and it makes it super easy for anybody to find you, because the thought is you want to make it as easy as possible so there's no confusion. All right. And so the next one we're going to get into, and we're just running right through here. Make sure that your domain, in addition to the domain name, make sure it's not too long, because sometimes we can confuse people by having a long domain name, because we want to keep it as short as possible. If you can, just use the initials. Make a something real simple. If you have a long name, maybe try to abbreviate it in some way, because you don't want to confuse people. And also consider buying any misspellings of your name, because that would also help you out in the long run. The fourth mistake I would give is that people don't have mobile-friendly websites. And mobile-friendly essentially means that no matter what device your website is viewed on, it should be able to scale to that screen. And so, for example, if you go to, let's say Mashable.com. If you go to Mashable.com, you should be able to, your website should fit within this frame here. It should fit easily through here, no problem at all. But what some websites have, if you know it's not mobile friendly, if you have to go left or right. If you have to constantly go left to get to content on one side, or go right to get to content on the other side, that means your website's not mobile friendly. And actually, I can try to show you here. So this is my website here. So I don't know if you guys can see this. When your website is mobile friendly, you see how it's adjusting itself? It should be able to shrink and adjust to whatever whatever platform you're viewing it on. And you see how there's no delay. The text is adjusting itself. That's how your website should be. It should be able to adjust itself no matter what screen you're viewing it on. It should be super simple for anybody to read any content on your website. It shouldn't be confusing. So you want to make sure that it's able to adjust no matter whether it's a phone, a tablet, even on a projector screen. No matter what it is, it should be able to adjust easily. And so that's very important, because if somebody goes to your website and they're not able to see all the content, they're going to leave immediately, because they're not going to waste their time to try to figure it out. So that's why timing is important. You want to make sure that everything adjusts properly. The next mistake is people don't have some form of email capturing, or basically a way to collect email addresses. Now, not everybody owns, or rather not everybody's on Facebook, not everybody's on Twitter, not everybody's on social media. But I tell you, everybody and their grandmama has an email address. My grandma has an email address. Now, when you have some form of capturing those email addresses, this is perfect, because this is a way to get traffic to come back to your website. So maybe you have an event, maybe you have some type of speaking engagement you want to share with people. You would have this platform to collect email addresses and store them. They're not stored on your website, but they're more stored with an email provider such as MailChimp, which is a totally free platform that you could use. And what I'll do is any links or any websites that I give you that you should check out, I'll put them in the description of this video. But MailChimp, you can have up to 2,000 subscribers for free. You can host 2,000 subscribers for free and send up to 12,000 emails totally free. Now, you would pay additionally for certain features, but MailChimp makes it super simple. And so you would have this platform to basically store your email addresses, and then you would need something on the website to really kind of have like a form or something to collect them. So if you ever been to a website, what good examples like Target would have like a pop-up show up, and then they'll have something where you can put your name and your email address, and it'll have a blurb like get the latest updates, or get discounts, or get 10% off by subscribing. That's what you would do for your website. You would have something on there to pop up and to basically collect those email addresses. And then once they hit OK or enter, after they enter their information, then it's stored with something like MailChimp. Another one that I've been using recently, which I absolutely love, I don't know if you guys heard of it, it's called ConvertKit. And ConvertKit makes it so easy to create an email campaign, send out emails, capture emails. It makes it so super simple, man, and I love it. And once you have these pop-ups to come up, or you can use, there's a few that you can use that are free. One is called HelloBar.com, and what HelloBar does is it'll have a bar at the top of your website. And I actually have an example on my website, so check it out at graphicblueprint.com. And it's just simply a bar at the top of the website, so no matter where they go, it'll have this bar. So you could have a blurb, a short sentence that says, are you struggling with wedding photography? And they'll have yes or no. And then they'll click yes. And then the next sentence will say, great, contact us today so we can give you a free quote. And then they'll have their name and email address. And it's just that simple. Another one is called SumoMe.com. SumoMe.com. And it gives you various templates that you could use for pop-ups for your website. There is an additional fee for additional features, but generally you just need something simple like just a pop-up. They have other things like instead of a pop-up, you can literally have a whole page slide down. So then it's just a whole new page, and then once they enter information, your website comes right back up. And it's awesome. So I would check out those two. In addition to MailChimp and ConvertKit, some other options would be GetResponse.com. Aweber is another one, and one that I haven't used in a very, very long time, which is more corporate-y, it would be Constant Contact, but I haven't used them for years because I found MailChimp, and now I'm using ConvertKit, so I actually love it. Let's see here. Number six is not having a custom email address. Custom email addresses, when I mean a custom email address, I mean that your website domain name is in your email address. I've seen it too often, and I've done it myself, is where people who claim to have businesses, they will use Gmail, they will use Yahoo, they will use, unfortunately, please tell me you don't do this. People still use AOL today, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why people still use AOL, but people will use these custom email addresses, and what it looks like is it looks very unprofessional, especially if you have a beautiful website, but then you use a Gmail address, then you need there's something, people may not take you seriously. So there's a few things you can do if you want a custom email address. One, depending on the company that you host your website with, they usually offer free custom email addresses in the plan that you choose from. So a hosting company, for example, would be HostGator.com. HostGator, for the most part, you get unlimited emails depending on the package. Another option would be another hosting company is called Bluehost, which is one that I actually recommend now, that I've been using for a few years now, and Bluehost is awesome. So is HostGator. HostGator is very reputable, and I've been using them both for a while now. I've been using HostGator longer, but either one, they give you a certain number of email addresses that you can create yourself. So, for example, my email address is info@graphicblueprint.com. So for you, you might want your name or your first name at whatever your company is.com. It's just that simple. And if you don't have a hosting company yet, and you may use like a free website builder, Google has something called Google Suite or G Suite. And I actually started using this recently. It's only $5 a month, and you get the normal Google features. So you got your mail, you got your Google Hangouts, you can do video. They have all the other Google things, the Google features that you would need, Google Plus. And I actually love it because I'm a Gmail guy. I use it every day. I use it for my calendar. And so I highly recommend using Google. They make it easy. So if you already have a website, you would just go to their Google Suite. You will enter your website name, and then they'll allow you to create whatever email address for your website. And in my opinion, $5 a month is nothing. It's for your business. You're investing in yourself. It's something that you will not regret. And it works with any smartphone, because almost all phones have Gmail or Google. So it makes it so easy for you. So I highly recommend that. And here's another tip is another mistake that people use. People use website builders. A website builder essentially is something where you can build a website and just by dragging and dropping. So you can go to a website like Wix.com is an option, is one that people use regularly. Now, Wix.com allows you, they basically have these pre-made templates that you can use, where you can pick a template, add your pictures, add your photos and stuff like that. The problem is people get stuck on is that they don't incorporate their personal business. So, like for example, their website, the web address would be graphicblueprint.wix.com / a series of numbers. And that looks unprofessional, and I highly doubt that people would actually take you seriously. So that's why when you use these website builders, there's an option where you can use your own email address, your own domain name, or in some cases, I always tell people, always invest into your own website, because these website builders, you don't technically own the website. You don't own the website, because in the event that that website company decides to shut down your website based off of the terms and conditions, they can do whatever they want. You don't really have total control over your website. And also what you fail to understand is that you're paying more money in the long run. So I always recommend building it through, once again, a company like Bluehost, where you can have your domain and hosting in one place. And then I would obviously recommend using a platform called WordPress. WordPress is easy to use. Even if you don't know how to code, you can always use, they have pre-made WordPress templates that you can just download and upload to your website. They usually come with instructions, step-by-step instructions on how to build it from the ground up. So they make building a website is not as hard as it is. I usually deter people away from the website builders, such as the Wix and Weebly, Google, not Google, but what do you call it? Squarespace. I actually like Squarespace, but I wouldn't use it for in the long run. So initially, if you want to cut the cost down initially, you can use the website builder just to get started. But in the long run, you're going to be paying more money. Hands down, you'll be paying more money in the long run. And the last mistake that people make, and I'm actually giving you more than 7 here, but that's all right. If you guys got any questions, or actually I should say this, if you got any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm here to help you out. If you have made any of these mistakes before, please leave them in the comments below. The last mistake is people don't integrate their website with social media. And that's very important because most people only have social media, but when you have a website, it's so easy just to bring them together so everything is on your website. And when I mean integrate, I mean there's certain things that you can do. For example, Facebook, if you have a fan page, Facebook gives you a string of code that you can copy from Facebook and paste it on your website. So when people visit your website for the first time, they'll see like a box, or I don't know if you've ever seen this, like a box about not too big. They come in different sizes, and they have like, and you can click and like from your website. You can see the latest content that's been posted on the timeline. You can I believe you can also have a messenger on your website as well. So they make it so easy so people actually don't have to come to your website. So it's super simple. And even with Instagram and Twitter, I'm not too sure with what do you call it? Snapchat and Pinterest. Or Periscope. I'm not too sure about those, but those are the only other ones. So those are my recommendations. And even if you use WordPress makes it easy in integrating it. If you, I'm not sure with the website builders because I haven't used them too much, but WordPress makes it super simple and just bringing your social media information over and saving it on your website, because they have things called plugins which basically do the work for you. All right, and looks like we got a question here. What site do you recommend again? I'm not sure, Philip. What do you mean? Is this for building the website, or? You got. Yeah. So what we'll do is, while I wait for that, I will post all the links and stuff of all the links and websites that I mentioned that I recommend for, things that you could do to create a website, or places you can go, things to look at. I recommend for website building, I recommend, it's called WordPress. So WordPress is a platform that actually you can build. It's like the vehicle for the website. So it's what you would use. So what you can do, you can go to wordpress.org, and they have a lot of information on there will show you how to build a website. And also I'll even include some places where you can purchase templates, WordPress templates, that will allow you to basically test out how your website will look. And you can kind of play around, see how the navigation works, see how the sliders work on the website. I'll have all that listed out for you also. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, you can just leave a comment below. And if you, I also encourage you to join my newsletter. I will send out information on how to build an online presence and help you grow your business. And yeah, if you guys need anything else, you can also like my fan page, Graphic Blueprint, or you can email me at info@graphicblueprint.com. So if there's nothing else, I appreciate you. Hi, Jody. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate y'all so much. You guys are awesome. Yeah, if you guys have any other questions, I'm here for you. All right. Hope y'all have a good evening, and God bless.